The Galaxy Tab S comes in two sizes, one with an 8.4 inch and the second one with a 10.5 inch screen. Instead of using traditional LCD technology, both devices sport identical Super AMOLED displays, allowing Samsung to make it incredibly thin and light. Not only that, but Super AMOLED also promises 70% better color reproduction rate compared to LCD. With a resolution of 2560 by 1600, the screen looks absolutely stunning, probably the best we've ever laid eyes on. That's 288 ppi for the 10.5 inch model and an even higher 359 ppi for the 8.4 inch model. The Galaxy Tab S features this new adaptive display that automatically optimizes the color range, saturation, sharpness for certain apps such as gallery, camera, web browser, or even when you're watching a video or reading a book. If you don't like the super vibrant colors that the Super AMOLED displays, Samsung took care of that by including 3 different screen modes to choose from. There's AMOLED Cinema, which is a default look, as if you're using adaptive display, but without the software changing the settings automatically. It's got really vibrant colors and is very contrasty. There's AMOLED Photo that has a more subtle look, it's not too vibrant and the colors aren't washed out at all. The last one is Basic Mode. It sort of mimics what an LCD screen looks like. The colors aren't vibrant and it lacks a bit of contrast. Some may like this look and some may not, but then again you can choose from 2 other modes that will just keep it an adaptive display and leave the color adjustment to the software. Now I mentioned earlier about the size and weight of these two in the beginning. These two tablets are only 0.25 inches thin. Now that's really thin. When they're in your hands, both the 10.5 and 8.4 inch models hardly weighs anything at all. Its exterior is still made out of the same dimple back that we saw with the Galaxy S5, just over a much larger canvas. These two tablets are less than a pound with or without the cover that you can buy separately, and speaking of covers, you can get 2 different variations. The simple cover, which covers just the screen and the lower back of the device, and the book cover, which is a folio type case that can be folded in different angles. They're held by these 2 small buttons on the back of the device and click into places. They're a huge pain to put on and take off. Taking them off makes it feel like you're breaking the device in half, especially with the noise it makes when you finally take it off. Now when it comes to performance, it depends on what version of the Galaxy Tab S you get. There's an LTE version and there's a Wi-Fi only model. The Wi-Fi model, which we reviewed, is running the octa-core Exynos 5 and it's crazy fast. It's able to handle just about anything you throw at it. Except for Google Chrome, which for some reason is really sluggish. But other than that, we got a pretty good performance from these 2 tablets. It has 3 GB of RAM, which is plenty enough for a tablet. It has 16 GB of internal storage, but there's also a micro SD slot for 128 GB. The Galaxy Tab S has 2 cameras, one 8-megapixel in the back with a single LED flash that can record up to full HD 1080p and one 2.1 megapixel shooter up in the front that can also record up to full HD 1080p. Like any new Samsung smartphones, the Galaxy Tab S features majority of the new camera settings that can be found on mobile, like beauty face, HDR, and dual shot. Now we'll have a gallery up on our site with sample images, so be sure to check that out. So with these new Galaxy Tab S features the new fingerprint scanner that was introduced with the Galaxy S5. When we did our initial testing with the Galaxy S5, it just wasn't working very well. This, on the other hand, was a bit better than the Galaxy S5's fingerprint scanner. It seemed to recognize my fingerprint more accurately. Why? We don't know, but it works surprisingly well. Still, it's not as responsive as the iPhone 5s's Touch ID. Let's take a quick break from our Galaxy Tab S video to thank our friends at GoDaddy. It's go time and GoDaddy's here to help you kick butt online. Start your website today with a $2.95.com. Visit GoDaddy.com and enter the promo code TECHNO295 to get your .com for just $2.95. Some limitations apply. See website for details. Now the Tab S 10.5 has a 7,900 milliamp battery and it's really good. I used it for an entire day, which included web browsing, Netflix binging, an occasional game or 2. Clash of Clans, anyone? We got about 12 or so hours on a full day of use and about 15% battery left. Although there's also a new ultra power saving mode that you can enable to make the battery even last longer. Now if you don't use a tablet all that often, the battery will last a few days with no problems. It just depends on your daily usage. Now with software, the Galaxy Tab S is running Android 4.4.2 KitKat out of the box, but since this is a Samsung device, it's running a TouchWiz skin over it. Now I really like what Samsung has done with its new TouchWiz skin for its latest devices. Both of the devices are running the new magazine UX from Samsung and it's just beautiful. TouchWiz have previously featured a very cluttered UI, complicated menus, and color schemes that were just all over the place. But Samsung has really toned it down over the last few months and introduced a very simplistic and modern UI look to TouchWiz. I definitely like where it's headed, although you still get the horrible bloatware that's in every non-stock Android device. Multi-window is still present here, and you also get the options for kids mode for those who are thinking of purchasing for their kids. Samsung also included a new software feature such as Side Sync, which lets you control your supported Galaxy phones within the tablet. You can make calls, send messages, and basically control the entire phone. However, when you start using your Galaxy phone, Side Sync disables itself automatically, and you have to lock your phone in order to start using it again. So there are definitely some quirks. In addition, Samsung also offers a slew of Galaxy gifts, stuff like 1 free year of GoGo in-flight Wi-Fi and some paid subscription from sites like Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, and New York Times, just to name a few. There's definitely a lot to like with both the new Galaxy Tab S 10.5 and 8.4 inch model. There's a beautiful vibrant screen that I'm sure every consumer is going to love, and the design is top notch. But of course, there's also some caveats with the Tab S. The audio isn't all that great, and the speakers can be blocked easily. The 10.5 inch model has this weird volume button glitch where you press the volume up and the volume goes down instead. The price is also a point of concern. You can pick the 10.5 inch model for $499 and a smaller 8.4 inch model for $399. Now that's on par with Apple's iPad Air and iPad mini with Retina, but there's also other devices in the Android market such as the Nexus 7 that only starts at $229. Now these are definitely Samsung's best tablets this year. The design is great, specs are beefy, and the screen is the best we've ever seen. Better than the Apple's iPad Air and iPad with Retina. Overall, I'd give the Samsung Galaxy Tab S device a solid 9 out of 10. What are your thoughts of the Galaxy Tab S? Which size would you choose? Let us know in the comments down below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. You'll be the first ones to know when new videos come up. We have a ton of stuff. We do unboxings, we do hands-on, reviews, cars, and everything in between that has to do with consumer electronics. We'd love to have you stick around.